Hello, everyone. Welcome to the David Goodman Reality and Truth Show. My name is Vanita Lambert, and I have the honor of hosting the show every single week. And this week, I have some really important information to share with you. I don't have a guest this week, but I wanted to take this time to talk to you about some options that you have regarding what's going on in the market. It came to my attention that we needed to talk about this information, and I ask you to please share this with your friends, your family member, or anyone that you know that has invested into the market, that has a 401k, IRA, what have you. That money is in the market, and we're going through, I guess, some rough times right now because we have lost in the market. I know someone personally that's lost over $200,000 in their 401k in the past couple of months. And I know someone else that's lost over 5% of their 401k. And my husband has lost money in his 401k. I can't say that definitively, but well, I guess I can because everyone else has lost money. I'm afraid to look at his because I don't have one, and his is our retirement. And it's pretty scary. I'm going to look at it soon, I promise, but scary to lose money, to lose your retirement when you're in your 60s. And I feel that as an insurance agent, an insurance broker, correction, because I have multiple companies, it's my responsibility to inform people that you have other options. You don't just have to leave your money into a 401k and watch it dwindle away. There are other options. So I printed out a couple of forms, and I did this really quickly today because I did have a guest and they weren't able to make it. But I want to show you, and I want to show you what some of your other options are. And it's a little complicated, but now what you're looking at is the first page of my presentation. Protect your principal balance. You will never lose a penny. So that's number one. Defer your taxes is number two. And then with this type of contract, you can also enjoy guaranteed lifetime income payouts. And you can protect your assets. It's not called a long-term care. It's like a long-term care payout, but it's called a well-being benefit, which all means the same thing. When you need long-term care, when you lose 2 or more of your daily living activities, and that's certified by a medical professional, you will be able to access additional funds from this type of contract. This type of contract is called, on the very next page, okay, it is called an Income Shield 10. And basically, what happens with this, and I'm going to try to do this as simply as I can, but you really need to, probably give me a call and get the information again, sit down at a table, and we go over all this information together. But let me just give you some examples of how an Income Shield 10 works. It is called a fixed index annuity plus a lifetime benefit, okay? So the first thing that this company does, and I'm going to use $200,000 as our base. If you invest your initial premium where the asterisks are, that says $200,000, you will automatically get a 10% signing bonus. It's a premium bonus that you get when you sign the contract. So you've just made $20,000 just by initiating this contract. So now you have $220,000. This also has an income payout factor of 6.86%, and it's guaranteed. You get a guaranteed interest rate no matter what happens in the market. You're going to get 8.25%, and you get that for a guaranteed 8 years if you defer your income. Francisco, can you put that page up again? I'm blocking it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, where the asterisks are, that's where the $200,000 is, and you get 10% signing bonus, so it ups it to $220,000, and then you come down below where the asterisks are, and it says interest rate. You get a guaranteed 8.25% interest for a time period of 8 years, as long as you defer income. You can turn the income button on, the income stream on, after year 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, but you'll get the guaranteed 8.25% interest for up to 8 years if you defer turning that income stream on. And the payout factor is your income, is what your income payout factor is determined by the age you turn when you turn on the lifetime benefit rider. Okay? And so for this particular contract, guaranteed income payout monthly is $1,984. Annually, that's $2,308. Now, if you needed long-term care, or if you needed to activate the well-being benefit, this one is called here, then it doubles. Your annual benefit would be $47,615, and your monthly benefit would be $39,68. So, and I know that's a little bit confusing, but I tried to illustrate it as best I can. And now going to the next page, which is page number 3. Okay, that's just your income calculator table based on if you take income year 2, what you would get year 3, what you would get, so on and so forth. That's something that needs to be gone over in more detail. And then the next page, which is just the illustration, okay? This is an illustration with guaranteed numbers if these amounts are followed, okay? So on your illustration, you're going to get the guaranteed 8.25%, number 1, okay? And then it says on the next page, turn over to the next page, it's going to give you, where you see the little circle there, your index annuity strategy allocations, you're allowed to select indexes in which you can gain more than 8.25% if the market does well. So for example, on this illustration, which is just an example, I have selected the fixed bucket, 25% in the fixed bucket, 25% in BlackRock, 25% in S&P 500 annually, and then 25% in the S&P monthly. So if those indexes do well in the market, you'll get the 8.25% plus whatever these markets do. However, if the market tanks, you'll get the guaranteed 8.25%, and you just won't get anything from these additional markets. There's no way you can lose in this. All of the income stream is incoming, not outgoing. So you never lose a penny. I'll reiterate that again. Okay, then it has all the key terms at the bottom. So now let's flip over to the next page, which is, this is where it gets really complicated. And this is what I want people to know, because you don't know what you don't know. And you don't understand, if you've never had this illustrated, and never really viewed how this works, then you're really missing out if you have a 401k or money in the market or, a IRA or what have you. You can do this with 401k money. You could do this with a savings account. You can use any money you want to do this. However, this type of contract is based on a lump sum, your initial premium of a lump sum. And then if you like what's going on, you have up to a year to add to this type of contract and still take advantage of the premium bonus of 10%. Okay, so now let's try to explain this page. I have written in the grayed area on top, well, on your copy it's white, column number 1, okay? So these are contract values projected on a guaranteed basis. These are not guesses. These are not if the market does good or bad. These are guaranteed numbers. And I think the insurance companies created this or implemented these type of contracts to replace what a lot of companies are not doing anymore, and that's giving guaranteed pensions out. A lot of companies like, I don't know, except for, maybe federal contracts, municipalities, and pharmaceuticals, a lot of companies are not giving out those pensions that they used to give out anymore. And so this type of contract replaces what a pension would normally do. And so what the companies are doing are giving you 401ks, and you have the option to convert it into this type of contract. So on where the grayed area is under contract values projected on a guaranteed basis, if you look where I have number 1 and have it circled, that is the end of the year. That's the year of the contract. And then number 2, this person that I selected is 59, 60 years old. They'll be 60 at the end of this year. So number 2 is always going to be your age. And then number 3, column number 3 is your premium plus the bonus. This person initially put in $200,000 and they were given 10%, which comes out to $20,000 of 200 as the premium signing bonus. So the initial income is $220,000. That's what this contract is going to be based on. Okay? Then we're going to slide all the way over where I have at the top circled guaranteed lifetime income. And right underneath that is the fourth column from the last, okay? It says income account growth. So it's going to grow $18,150 for 2, 4, 6, 7 years. That's how much you're going to grow. That's how much 8.25% interest on $220,000 comes out to. It comes out to $18,150. Then the very next year, which is the 7th year, is it? Did I say the 7th year or the 8th year? Okay, the 8th year, you're going to begin taking your guaranteed lifetime payment of $23,808. Okay? So let's go back up to the top. Let's go back up to the income account growth amount. I forgot about the death benefit. God forbid, worst case scenario, if you enter into this contract and something happens to you right away, your beneficiary will collect the death benefit, which is listed in the far right corner. It starts at $218,000, and then it goes down to $215,000, $212,000, $209,000. So the amount of the death benefit is being reduced every year because the growth of the income amount is being increased. So on the 8th year, The death benefit is down to $197,000, but you're going to collect income of $23,808 for the rest of your life. Whether you live until you're 80 or whether you live until you're 114 years old, that's how long you can collect $23,808 for the rest of your life, okay? You will have a death benefit until the death benefit runs out, which is around, for this person, around age 75, because they're not going to give you income and keep the death benefit. So if you look in that last column, you're going to see zeros toward the end because you've collected all of the cash out of this contract. However, if you look in the column where it says, and this is a column right next to the death benefit, cumulative lifetime income benefit payment. If you look in that column and you look down at the bottom where I have it circled, $499,960 at age, and you go across and you see how old this person is, at age 88, this person would have turned their $220,000 into almost $500,000, okay? But it doesn't stop there, okay? Turn over to the next page, which is the exact same page. It's a continuation of the exact same page, but the age goes to 114. So if this person lived to be 114 years old, okay, they would have turned their $200,000 investment into $1,118,959, because as this contract states, these are guaranteed lifetime income benefits. You would get $23,808 for the rest of your life, even if you lived up to 114 years old. I don't think anybody's living that long, but if you do, you're still going to collect $23,808. So what I'm trying to say, and what I would like to, if anyone wants to call and get this information, plug in your age, plug in your investment, and see how much you can get, and how much you can get for the rest of your life. You won't have to worry about income. Like, these types of contracts eliminate that question of, am I ever going to run out of money? There you go. There you have it. As long as you have this contract and you are breathing, you will not run out of money. I don't know if we could say that right now about anything else that's going on in our economy, like our Social Security. I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned about many things that are going on right now. And one of my main concerns, that's affecting me and my husband right now, we're both in our 60s, is that he's losing money in his 401k. And unfortunately, there's nothing we could do about his. But if you're retiring, or if you're able to access a partial out of your 401k, or if you're already retired and your money is still in the market and you're losing 5, 6, 7% or whatever, and you want to stop the bleeding, this is one way that you can do it. This is definitely a way that you can guarantee that you're going to have income for the rest of your life. You can also, there's all different types of contracts exactly like this, with different interest amounts that you can take advantage of. Say, for example, you don't want to start taking income in 8 years. There are contracts where you can start taking income in 20 years and collect, I think it's 6.25% guaranteed interest with guaranteed lifetime benefit payouts. And that has a death benefit, and that also have that well-being rider connected to that. I just think that the insurance companies are doing a wonderful job, and with the innovation of all of these contracts to make sure that our elderly are taken care of, and answering questions like, am I ever going to run out of money, or what happens to me if I need long-term care? This is the type of product that eliminates those two questions for you. And I know that at my age, you start thinking about, getting all of your affairs in order. And I would recommend that if you have the opportunity to sit down with a licensed insurance broker like myself, which I will drive anywhere in Connecticut, sit at your kitchen table, and give you a free confidential needs analysis, answer all the questions that you may have regarding, questions that keep you up at night. Questions such as, how much am I going to spend? How much will healthcare cost me over the next 30 years? Questions like, can I retire now? Do I have enough money to retire now? And what type of lifestyle that you want to live. I will help you plan your future with contracts like this. There's also, we just came out with a new contract where, for folks like my friend that just lost 5% of her 401k, where there is it's a 10-year commitment where you can take out 10% of your commitment every year, but there is a 14% signing bonus. That's crazy. Nobody's giving out 14% of anything. So if you invested, your initial premium was 200,000, you would automatically earn $28,000 on that number. And out of the 228,000, you can take 10% out. You have to wait one whole year, but after the one whole year, you can take 10% of that out every single year. You can stop the bleeding. You can stop losing money. You don't have to leave your money where it is. You do have other options. Some of us do. Unfortunately, some of us, like my husband, he works for Yale Hospital, you are not allowed to take your 401k or take partial payments from your 401k until you actually leave the company. And he's not retired. So that's why I haven't opened ours. I don't want to see it. I know we're losing and there's nothing I can do about it. But for those of you who have control over your 401ks, or who have, money in the market that you like to leave as a legacy for some of your grandchildren or animals, or just whatever your situation, I would recommend giving me a call at 203-687-2778. The number is right there on the screen for a free confidential needs analysis on your family's, healthcare, or the 4 areas that will affect your family the most, or your retirement. Where are you with retirement? What are the evils that might affect my retirement, like long-term care, probate, taxes, and in this situation, market fluctuation? What can I do to stop the bleeding? And that's what this is all about. I want to just, and I guess I'm a little bit nervous myself. It's a little where the economy is right now, the price of eggs and everything else that's going up, because I'm the shopper in my house. I'm a little bit concerned that, we might be headed for some rough times. I hope and pray to God that I'm wrong. I hope that everything could get, resolved rather quickly. But if they don't, I just want to let everybody know you need to have some type of plan B. You need to have a backup plan. Like I heard all these federal people lost their jobs. Hopefully they're not single family households, because if they are, and they lost their jobs kind of quick, if they are, only God help them if they had their 401k, they're losing money and they lost their job. If it's a two-parent household, then hopefully one of them can carry the other. But it's just, we just got to hold on tight. I believe we live in the best country in the world. No matter what we're faced with, we're going to get through it. We've been through terrible adversity. Adverse problems, and we all have issues, and I know that we're all going to get through it and we're all going to be okay. But in the interim, I just want everybody to know that there's help out there, there's information out there. Without the information, you cannot take advantage of the benefits. You have to get the information. It's a must, and it's free information. So I encourage you to share this tape on YouTube. It's going to be on YouTube. You can share it with your friends, with your family. I'm also licensed in North Carolina and Maryland. So if you need information and you live in those two states, I can definitely help you as well. And no matter where you are, I have colleagues that are licensed all over the country. So we're an agency and we provide free information for anyone all over the country that may have questions about your retirement, your life insurance, your health care, or what have you. But I want to thank you for this time. I hope that everyone will be okay. I want to say good day and God bless everyone as we get through some of the rough times ahead, which I hope I'm wrong about. And thanks for joining the David Goodman Reality and Truth Show, and we're on your side.